We are now learning President-elect Joe Biden's incoming deputy chief of staff pushed for mandatory buybacks of assault weapons while working for Beto O'Rourke last year. Listen.
We are actually the only campaign with a plan, though, since some other candidates have come out in support, but a plan that supports mandatory buybacks of weapons of war. An assault weapon ban is very, very important, and we need to have it. But that only takes weapons of war off the streets in the future. It does nothing for weapons of war that are currently out there.
Here to discuss this is attorney and gun rights activist Colion Noir. Good to see you, Colion. What do you make of this? What does this mean for the family that owns guns and believes that they need them to protect their family?
Well, you know what's interesting is she keeps calling them weapons of war. But just a couple of nights ago, I had a guy banging on my door and trying to come into my house for 15 minutes. And when I called the cops and I was staying in my house with my AR-15, it wasn't a weapon of war to me. It was a weapon for my defense. So I don't understand why they keep trying to vilify the idea of common Americans utilizing an AR-15 to defend themselves, especially considering that less than 2% of gun deaths in this country are committed with AR-15s.
Here is Biden's statement on the buyback program. He says President-elect Biden, or his team says President-elect Biden, supports a voluntary buyback program. When you read more about it, he says either sell the guns back to the government or register them with the ATF. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I think it's a slap in the face to common working Americans, because if you think about it, that idea is inherently elitism. Because basically what he's saying is either you have the money to pay for the incredible tax that I'm going to put to place on this firearm, or you have to turn it in with a voluntary buyback, which essentially is nothing more than a gun confiscation, because I don't have an option. It's either I can afford to pay the tax on it or I have to give up my guns. The only people that hurts are the people who are from a lower economic status, who are usually in neighborhoods where they probably need these guns the most. People who are wealthier won't have a problem paying these taxes. So who is he actually trying to help?
Well, with defunding police, with so many police officers retiring, now with this buyback, we're not allowed to have certain types of weapons if they get their way. It's very scary if you have a gun to protect your family or a weapon to protect your family. What if the Democrats win the Senate with these two elections in Georgia in January? What does that mean?
That's interesting to bring that up, because I was actually going to talk about that. I think anybody who is a firearm owner, especially those that live in Georgia, I think that the runoff election that's going on in Georgia right now is probably the most important election with respect to the Second Amendment, considering that the two individuals who are Democrats that are running have voiced their basically they're essentially anti-gun. And so from that perspective, if they do take the Senate, we're going to find ourselves in a situation that if Joe Biden is the president, you would have Kamala Harris as a person who would be deciding tiebreakers on particular bills. And we know what the Democrats plan to do with respect to gun control, especially trying to push an assault weapons ban.
She said in the past she does support the mandatory buyback of assault weapons. Colion, thank you so much for joining us. Glad you're safe after that guy was at your front door for so long. God bless you. Thank you.
In 1835 in Texas, soon after a weapons confiscation request, the ladies of the settlement hastily made a flag to fly over a cannon being requested to be confiscated. The flag featured a black cannon in the center, the words "come and take it" below, and one star above the requested weapon to be confiscated, representing the Lone Star State. Today, there was another growing gun confiscation request in all 50 of our states requesting to confiscate our AR-15s. We want the government to know what would happen if they tyrannically passed their so-called assault weapons ban. "I will not comply" is a symbolization of defiance against politicians, anti-gunners, and any other tyrannical entity looking to deprive you or your Second Amendment right as put forth in the Constitution of the United States. All right, now we have the performance mask at shop.mrcolionnoir.com. And no, these aren't the masks that suffocate you to death. You can breathe in this mask. It's lightweight material, very high quality. You know how I do. I'm sure the YouTube algorithm is going to do a phenomenal job of suppressing this message. So please share this video with as many people as you can so we can beat the algorithm and get our two-way message out to the masses. Also, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment and hit the bell and subscribe button. If you're looking for where to purchase your defund gun control shirts, hats, and drinkware, there's a link in the description section of this video.